Waves all across the country tonight. Here is the headline. Exclusive. Prominent lawyer sought donor cash for 2 Trump accusers. Now, the details from Solomon's report are beyond stunning. Well-known women's rights attorney Lisa Bloom attempted to arrange cash compensation from donors and media outlets for women who came forward or for women who were considering coming forward with allegations of sexual misconduct against Donald Trump in the lead up to the election. Now, the Hill is also exposing that Lisa Bloom's contracts required women to, quote, pay her commissions as high as 33% if she was able to sell their stories to media outlets. In a statement to the Hill, Bloom confirmed that she did secure and attempted to secure these kinds of payments. But Bloom noted that obtaining money was not part of an effort to pressure women to speak out with accusations. Now, Bloom also told the Hill that the money was to be used for relocating clients or for security if they felt unsafe. Now, Bloom also said that she did not contact Hillary Clinton or her campaign, but Bloom refused to tell the Hill about any possible communication she may have had with super PACs tied to Hillary Clinton. And finally, Bloom added that she never encouraged the women featured in the Hill article to say things that they did not believe to be true, and the women, in fact, did confirm that. Now, we've also reached out to Bloom for comment. She responded to our request by attacking John Solomon and claiming that the report is part of a right-wing smear. However, as we have noted, Bloom confirmed all the major parts of this breaking story. Now, this includes Bloom securing money for Trump accuser Jill Harth. Remember, Harth accused Donald Trump of making unwanted sexual advances in the 1990s. She filed a lawsuit against him in 1997. She dropped that lawsuit. Now, this is what the Hill is reporting about Lisa Bloom and Jill Harth, which they have both confirmed. Now, Harth says that, in fact, she did not initially ask Bloom for money, even though her business, she claimed, was suffering from stories about her accusations. At some point later in the relationship, Bloom secured what the Hill described as a, quote, small payment from licensing photos to news outlets. And Bloom also set up a GoFundMe page for Harth. In addition to all that, the Hill is reporting that Bloom arranged for Harth to receive an almost $30,000 payment to help her pay off her mortgage. Jill Harth did tell the Hill that taking the money does not affect the veracity of her accusations. Now, we did reach out to Jill Harth for further comment. She did not answer our request. Now, the Hill also spoke to another woman. Pay close attention to this. She chooses to be anonymous. Now, this woman told the Hill's John Solomon and Allison Spann that she is a friend of Jill Harth's, and she was pressed by Lisa Bloom to go public with her accusations of sexual misconduct against Donald Trump from the 1990s. Now, before we get into those details, it's important to note that this woman supported Trump in 2016 and is friends with people close to the president, including one of his attorneys. Now, the woman stressed to the Hill that no one connected to the president forced her to reveal details about her interactions with Lisa Bloom. The woman says that the reason she chose to speak out about Lisa Bloom is because she was disgusted by the fact that Bloom served as Harvey Weinstein's attorney when the sexual misconduct allegations first surfaced against him. As for the woman and Bloom's interactions, well, this unnamed woman provided text messages, emails that showed that Lisa Bloom had a very strong anti-Trump bias. She also revealed to the Hill that Bloom appeared to have a deadline for her to speak out before the 2016 election. The timeline proves this. And the woman also detailed to the Hill that Bloom initially offered her $10,000 in the form of a donation to her favorite church. And this is where it gets interesting. As the election got closer and closer and closer, and the polls got tighter and tighter, Bloom eventually increased the offer from $10,000 to $50,000 in a personal payment. It then went to $100,000. It then went to $200,000. And then just 2 days, November 6, 2016, 2 days before the election, it went to $750,000. Now, what this means is Lisa Bloom was offering a fortune right before you, the American people, were going to choose who the next president was going to be. The woman said to the Hill that she decided to see, how much money would be offered in the end. Now, Bloom claims the unnamed woman asked for, at one point, up to $2 million. But Bloom said that was a non-starter. Here's the timeline of how all of this played out. Pay close attention. According to The Hill, on November the 4th, Bloom contacted the woman's friend, but the friend didn't put the woman on the phone because she was in a hospital bed. Bloom, according to the report, then took a flight in an attempt to see the woman, all the way in Virginia from California. And the next day, Bloom was able to connect with the woman. And then Bloom allegedly sent this text message. Here's what is quoted in the Hill report. Quote, "I am confused because you sent me so many nice texts Wednesday night after my other client wasted so much of my time and canceled the press conference." Bloom texted then on November 5th, 2016, that meant a lot to me. Thursday, you said that you wanted to do this if you could be protected and relocated. I begged you not to jerk me around after what I had just gone through. A little later, she added another text. You have treated me very poorly. I have treated you with great respect as much as humanly possible. I have not made a dime off your case, and I have devoted a great deal of time. It doesn't matter. I could have done so much for you, but you can't stick to your word, even when you swear you will. 2 days before the election, November 6th, when the woman left the hospital, she agreed to sit down with Bloom in a hotel room, and that's where, according to the woman, just 2 days before the election, Bloom offered the whopping sum of $750,000. But the woman still declined to take it. Now, to all of us, this whole thing is beyond stunning. What if it had happened? Now, a logical person can only conclude that this was about politics for Lisa Bloom, at least. Imagine for a second if the story came out on November the 6th, right before the election. Would Bloom have acknowledged that this woman received all that money to tell her story? I doubt it. How would any campaign be able to deal with that and at least have a chance to make their case? Talk about November surprises. This is one, well, that would be for the record books. I want to make one thing clear. As you know, if you watch this program regularly, sexual misconduct and abuse are widespread problems in this country. We know it's true. I am the father of a daughter. I have sisters. It scares me. It is morally repugnant when it happens, and it's true, it needs to stop. It has no place in our society. We have said that repeatedly for months on this show. Victims of sexual misconduct deserve to be believed. And also, as we've been saying for months, any person that is accused of this type of behavior and they deny it, they too deserve the presumption of innocence. And I have said that in the case of Democrats and Republicans. Numerous examples which prove people cannot rush to judgment because sometimes innocent people are hurt because the allegations are flat out untrue. Example in point, the Duke lacrosse case. Those kids were innocent, having their lives ruined. Richard Jewell in Atlanta, falsely accused of being the 1996 Atlanta Olympics bomber. He didn't do it. Remember Ferguson, Missouri, Michael Brown, the mantra, hands up, don't shoot. That was all a lie. Also, Freddie Gray in Baltimore, the media told you that those cops would be convicted. None of them were. However, what Lisa Bloom reportedly did or attempted to do cannot be discounted. Bloom claims to be a champion of women's rights and a voice for the voiceless, yet, according to The Hill, she did secure a cash payment for Jill Harth that helped pay off the mortgage and arranged another, at least attempted to, huge payment for a different woman. Now, this is the same Donald Trump that Bloom displayed a hatred for that is reported in The Hill. And all of this raises very serious questions, not only about Lisa Bloom and her motivations here, but other issues. How is the public to deal with this? Was Lisa Bloom really interested in helping women here? Or was the real goal, as you can see through the timeline and the money going up and up and up and the push to the election, was this about stopping Donald Trump from winning the White House? And why was Bloom in contact with donors? What donors? Who are they? And were they tied in any way to Hillary Clinton? Now, these types of accusations are so serious, this should all be above politics. We asked Fox News legal analyst Greg Jarrett about all of this, and here's what he told us. While it is not illegal to ask someone to donate money for a person to tell a story, it can be a crime if that money is intended to influence someone to lie in a court proceeding. It raises another question. Lisa Bloom said she vetted these women. Well, my question is, okay, how carefully did you vet it? Show us the information. We'd like to see the vetting that took place. I'd like to see the evidence, the date, the times, specific examples. what has been uncovered by the Hill here is huge because it appears to fit a much larger pattern of attacks against the president. We've told you about the 5 destroy Trump forces that are working around the clock to damage, delegitimize, and destroy this president. We've also have been reporting on, unlike the rest of the destroy Trump media, all the attempts to take this president down. For example, the surveillance, unmasking of Trump and associates by the Obama administration. We have the Clinton bought and paid for, fake news, Russian propaganda salacious dossier. They wanted that to be used to influence the election. And this week, Fox News obtained the anti-Trump text messages being exchanged between FBI agent Peter Strzok and his FBI lawyer girlfriend, Lisa Page, where they discussed the, quote, insurance policy against Donald Trump winning the election. What was the insurance policy? Then you got the special counsel, Robert Mueller's team. They have been exposed as corrupted, abusively biased, incapable of conducting a fair investigation. And the list goes on, and the Hill